Very excited to bring you the DSQD from Lectrosonics 4-channel receiver and the DBU transmitter. So let's start with the receiver first. It's a 4-channel receiver, and we'll go to the overhead. It's half rack, and it is 4 receivers in 1/2 unit that runs on 12 volts. It is compatible with the new Lectrosonics digital transmitter, as well as the so-called legacy transmitters. We actually have it working live, in case you couldn't tell. And we'll go through some of the menu settings. But first, let's just take a look and see what we got. We have receiver screen here, menu back, and I can choose each receiver screen to see the status right here. If I go back, looking around to the back of the unit, let's go like this. We have Dante out, which we're not presently taking advantage of. We have receiver in and loop out, RF in and loop out. And we have analog audio out. We have control here with both serial and Ethernet, as well as 12-volt power. So yeah, let's dive into the menus. First of all, frequency range is 470 to 614 on the receiver. And if we start to look at some of the menus, we have quick access. Let's take a look at quick access. I can do a scan on here, which I'm not going to do because I think it's going to knock me off the air. And I can set up the RF. We can do all the group tuning. This also does the trick of combining 2 of the receiver modules so that I can have switched or ratio diversity. And let's see, audio setup. So I can do audio level or polarity. It is compatible with all of the different modes. So I'm going to do, I will switch this one, which is not on the air, so you can see the different modes. North American Hybrid, it's compatible with the Duet, channel 1 or 2, the new D2 modulation, Japanese, or the new Hybrid, EU Hybrid, or NA Hybrid. And as you can see, we have a scrolling screen, a kind of waterfall display that shows the history of the RF. The front panel is really pretty informative. I have RF level, I have transmitter battery level, and I have audio level. Right now, you are hearing me through the DBU transmitter, but we've also hooked up a legacy SM transmitter. So yeah, let's keep going. I can sync with IR, and there's also, if I'm using the digital modulation, I can also encrypt. So the new IR-capable transmitters, this will sync all the frequency information, and also the digital transmitters will allow for encryptions. And tools and settings, I can choose the transmitter battery type. There's a couple of interesting options for power saving. So I can turn individual receivers on and off, which will save power. And I can also turn the Dante on and off, which I think, which I think is interesting. So there is Dante. And I don't know if you can read that, but it says it will save about 0.85 of a watt to turn it off. So yeah, that's the receiver. I'm very excited about this form factor. You can have hardware that will do 2 side by side in a 1 RU unit. So that will get you 8 in 1 rack unit. we are going to take a much deeper dive in a video that we're going to do not live, because we're really going to try and push this thing to the limits, and I'm excited about that. Looking at the transmitter, and again, if we go to the overhead, let's see if I can orient that to be glare-free as possible. No. Okay, well, in any case, it's all the sort of standard options in the new menus. You have gain, frequency. I can program the switch to be a mute switch. There's also an interesting option on these transmitters that I can make the switch route to a separate audio output on either via Dante or a separate audio XLR switch. So for example, if you do news or something where the talent presenter needs to be able to talk privately off the air to a control room or something like that, this is all set up for that. Before I move on to the transmitter, I should talk about the bias possibilities. You can turn on and off antenna bias, and it's fully protected and fused. So no worries about, if you have a short in your coax, you won't take the system down. All right, the new transmitter digital modulation scheme. It is 25 or 50 milliwatts. This one goes 470 to 608 in North America. It's really solidly built. We know the form factor. I would like there to be a smaller version, and I would hope that they're working on it, but otherwise it sounds really good. Well, cool. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the deeper dive.